industry. I think as we wrap up the year, it's important for us to take note of what's happened in 2016, to see how we stack up against other countries, and to see if we can make any improvements in the next year. So I've got some very important and familiar faces here to join me in this discussion. Sitting next to me is the one, the only music producer, Eric Musiok. Give it up for Musiok. Yeah, that's the one. Sitting next to Musiok is, she is an entertainment lawyer. She is a musician herself. She is fabulous. The very lovely June Gashu is here. Thanks for being here. Give her a hand. And last but not least, Alex Mwakideu, who is a radio presenter. Thanks for joining us, Alex. Asante sana. So I guess this discussion all started when there were some statistics that were released by YouTube of what Kenyans had been searching for online this year. And it turns out that more Kenyans were searching for Tanzanian music than they were Kenyan music. And I would say that's a little bit troubling. Would you all agree with that? You can jump in and speak at any time, by the way. I'm not going to point.
Okay, I wouldn't say it's troubling. I think Tanzanians have much more content than what we've put out in terms of quality and in comparison with the kind of quality of music they're putting out.
So is it the music or is it the music video?
I would say it's both.
It's both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think we always say that the music video is the thing you use to market yourself, right? So some of us don't even know who has which songs until we watch a very well done video, and I think they have definitely done more of that than maybe we have. So I think it's finding that balance of, as much as you're producing music, also having a chance to have a way to put it out there for people to know there's even this song by Joey, and what we look at, what we watch is the music video. So I agree with Eric, they've done a bit more than we have thus far. That's why there are more options from a Tanzanian perspective.
Okay, Alex, what are your thoughts?
Naweza kuongea Kiswahili.
Unaweza ongea Kiswahili.
Haina noma, safi. Mimi nadhani kwamba muziki ni kwa sababu wa Tanzania wanatoa mingi sana. You see? So they keep us busy. You understand? So unaona kama Wasafi Records kwa mfano, leo kuna hii ngoma, kesho kuna hii ngoma, and they do very nice videos, yeah? So you want to see, they're marketing themselves. The marketing is bigger compared to us. Wakijimarket kwa Instagram, kwa Twitter, kwa Facebook, they are bigger on Instagram than we are.
But don't you think that Tanzanian, the audience in Tanzania is more loyal than the Kenyan audience? Because, I mean, when they're supporting their people, they support. Like, they follow and they support and they show up to your concert.
In Tanzania, there is a superstar culture, which is not very common around here. So that's why you tend to see that their celebrities have more followers, and it's like a cult kind of thing. Unlike here, whereby the average celebrity is just like the average guy.
Our musicians are not balling enough.
Balling is really joy.
But Jaguar was here and he
no.
money.
I think Kenya kuna variety. Kenya kuna variety sana. When you talk about Tanzania, how many artists are you talking about? Are you talking about Diamond and Ali Kiba and then who? You see, and then then you're almost like list yako ifiki watu watano. Lakini ukija Kenya ukicheki Jaguar ametoka hapa amefinika, Sauti Sol amefinika, Willy Paul akituafanya amefinika, Goody Juice ametokea vijana wapya wanafinika.
But the question is, why are we not
back with a bang with a new song?
Why are we not as thirsty for Kenyan music as we are for music from out there?
Marketing.
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask the audience quickly before we get back to you, June. Like, I want you guys to give a hand clap if you listen to more Kenyan music than you do Tanzanian music. Clap your hands. More Kenyan. Okay. All right.
Wakenya,
Switch it around. If you listen to more Tanzanian music than you do Kenyan music, clap your hands.
The same. Sounds like it's the same.
I can't tell with that. So it's kind of 50-50.
Maybe they listen to both.
Maybe they
listen to both. I agree. I mean, like, I wear several hats, but if I talk as a musician, my genre is very, very different from, it's not what I would call mainstream, for example. But still, when I have my shows, I have a particular audience that I appeal to, and it may not be your sort of mainstream on radio every day kind of thing, but if I have a show or a performance or a concert, people come and watch. So I think that there's something to be said about the beauty in variety. Also, we have so many more tribes, for example, if we're looking at the kind of different languages that we could have and who we are appealing to. There's always a discussion about, is Kenya our only market? Or is the world our market, or is East Africa the market? How come it's never about language, really, right? Because we listen to South African music, to Nigerian music, to Congolese music. We don't understand what they're saying, but the beat, the rhythms, that's what we relate to, you know? And again, the dance moves, if we watch the videos, right? So I think for me, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I do think there's some beauty and some relevance in the variety that we see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned marketing as an issue. Management, is that an issue? I mean, you know, we don't really have those media houses that are not media houses, but record labels that sell artists.
Personally, what I think is our biggest obstacle and setback is people don't tend to look at music as a business. Yeah, it's something you do when you failed school. You know. Exactly. When agriculture is not working, when chemistry is not working, you think we are a musician. So, first of all, you don't look at it as a business, something that can generate revenue. And because of that, you tend to find that the biggest showbiz business right now in Kenya is politics. It's not music. And people who invest in music will always look at, people who want to do any form of investment will always look at where the crowds are going. And right now, politicians are the rock stars. That's true. And that's where all the money is going. But nobody wants to invest in musicians because maybe we've not proved that we are a business that can, if I put money in, am I going to get any return?
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean we should all now become politicians.
I know.
We're not saying
2017 is around the corner.
Music and become a politician.
But Alex, I want to talk to you as a radio presenter.
Yes.
How do you answer the people who, Kenyan artists who come up to you and say, I'm chasing mziki zetu, or, you know, mbona mnacheza hizi za Diamond saa zote and such things?
No, the issue is simple, you know, like Wasafi Records 2016 alone. How many songs have they, you know, wametoa ngoma kama zote? 2016 alone. Like, per month wanatoa ngoma kama mbili, I think. You know, they're busy. So, at any given time, between 6 in the morning and 10, when I'm doing my show, you definitely have to hear Wasafi Records somewhere. But it doesn't mean that we're not playing Kenyan music. We're playing Kenyan music, but you see, we are playing Sauti Sol, then we play Willie Paul, then we come and play Atemi, and we play other artists. But with Tanzania, we definitely playing like, you know, Diamond, then we go to Alikiba, and then Omidimpos, then we're almost done with Tanzania. When you look at 2016, for example, utaona Watanzania wangapi wametamba 2016 alone. You know, na Wakenya wangapi wametamba 2016. Watanzania kama watatu wanne hivi wametamba 2016 alone. Watatu wanne tu na wametoa ngoma na wametukeep busy. Radio presenters and staff and radio stations will be playing the same guys over and over again in 2016. But in Kenya, we play all kind of music. Jaguar, Goody Goody, Sauti Sol, Willie, Bahati, and so many other guys who are coming up and stuff.
I'm waiting for my name, isn't it?
But June's name? Well, June, you've also been involved in Prisk, right?
No, I used to work for CAMP, the Kenya Association of Music Producers, which actually did partner with Prisk.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess eventually it was called CAMP Prisk, but I was employed by CAMP as the GM there.
So, I mean, we get artists here all the time who are saying, I'm not getting my dues as an artist or, you know, as a producer in that association. And, you know, it just feels like a never-ending song of Kenyan artists are not being paid, they're not making what...
Can I tell you what my prayer is for 2017?
Which artists are this year?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, that we change our narrative.
Yeah.
Because also, as he's saying, it's not every artist that's being paid on radio, for example. So if your songs aren't being played on radio stations, and those radio stations have paid royalties or have not paid royalties, that's another discussion for another day, then how are we supposed to pay you something that you've not yet earned, number one? Number two, if the audience, if these guys are not calling in to request at his show that you play such and such an artist, then that says a lot about whether your music is good enough, whether you've appealed to your audience. So I think it's important for guys to realize that you don't just get royalties because you wrote a song. It's not enough. It has to play. It has to be available commercially. Guys have to be playing it in clubs. You know, we have discussions with our DJ Charlie over there. Are they playing the music at these clubs for those clubs to then pay? And then that money to then trickle down to the artist. So it's a longer chain than just hakuna mtu ananilipa or sina do. It's not. It should never be about that poverty mentality.
Because one thing I haven't heard anyone say is that we don't have the talent. And Musiox, maybe you can speak to this as a producer. You've worked with
talent is never an issue.
Okay.
Harnessing the talent is always the issue, and promoting and selling that talent, that's where the issue is always at. You might be very talented, but if you don't have anybody to come and invest in your career, you're not going to go anywhere. At the end of the day, it's 1% talent, 99 business. It's a business, because you can't live your whole life experimenting something and then saying, I'll go back into banking when I'm 30. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So you have to treat it like a business. It's a career. It's something you must invest in.
So let me ask you, since we don't have record labels coming in to harness that talent, can someone just say, look, I have talent and I have the internet. Let me just get on, open a YouTube channel.
It's very difficult because first of all,
become as big as you know, Ali Kiba.
Like for example, the reason why Tanzanians are doing so many good videos is, first of all, they don't need a visa to go to South Africa.
We do.
They just hop on a plane. The flights are so cheap, and in South Africa, in Cape Town, with 1 million bob, you can shoot 3 good quality videos.
1 million za wapi za Kenya?
1 million shillings. $10,000
Kenya.
Okay.
The Tanzania za Kenya.
Za Kenya. Yeah, you gotta specify.
Very nice. They have packages for guys who shoot videos. But by the time a Kenyan processes his visa, is denied, is asked for bank statements, it's just a hassle.
Big hassle.
Yeah. So first of all, we are disadvantaged on that front. And Cape Town, it's very cheap to do music videos. If we could have access to that opportunity, it would change dramatically.
So
because we've also tried shooting videos there, even with P-Unit, but it's just a hassle.
As we wind up, I wanna take solutions.
Guys are doing good videos, but we are not many. You know.
And what you're saying about keeping people busy.
Exactly.
How many of them are you doing?
You're able to churn out.
Not all
Diamond will fly 5 musicians for 2 weeks, and they'll shoot like 20 videos.
Alex, what's the solution here? How do we make sure that in 2017 Kenyans are searching for our own music on YouTube?
Number one is the management. You have to get a very good management, you know, like the one that Diamond has. I went to Meru the other day, this year, when he came over. We actually had a concert in Meru, and you know, nikaona vile anavyochukuliwa kutoka airport. Everything is well organized. From the day anachukuliwa, vile amekuja interview, you know, to his journey to Meru, na kila kitu tutafuatilizia kwa internet, utaona kweli huyu ni msanii mkubwa amekuja na anachukuliwa kwa uzito, because anakuja na watu kama 10. Kuna cameraman pale, kuna mtu wa internet, kuna manager, kuna security, you know, 10 guys actually, and 4 dancers, you understand? So yao ni kazi na ni showbiz, ni brand Diamond, na watu wanakulia ile brand Diamond. Yule msee wa kamera pale amejenga nyumba yake kwa sababu ya hiyo brand Diamond. So unajua acheze na hiyo brand. So Kenya lazima tujiweke vile kwanza, kama Sauti Sol is really trying to do that, and they're really doing a good job. But apart from Sauti Sol, who else? I mean, you know, who else? So guys need to step up. Wapate management moja ya nguvu kabisa ambayo itaweka kwenye mtandao, kwenye TV, kwenye radio, and produce songs.
And look at this as a very serious business.
Yes.
June, solutions for you going forward.
All right. I think first of all is just number one, improving the quality of the music, not just from how you write the songs and who you're trying to appeal to, but also the production element. Because I think everything that we're talking about, we are not ignoring the fact that there needs to be some money. This investment that we're talking about, it's not cheap to produce music if you want it done well. But I think part of the solution is the artists themselves realizing, as we've been saying, that it is a business. So how you structure what you're doing. Do you have contracts in place? Because a lot of guys get played because they don't have a proper contract in place. They don't understand the kind of deals they're getting into. So in as much as, yes, a record label deal would be great, but is it perfect for you at that point? Are you trying to do everything? Some artists are their own managers. They're running around trying to book gigs at clubs. They don't even rehearse. you know, they don't show up for practice, they're not reliable, all these bad things we've heard. Like, if we could leave that in 2016 and just decide, yani tuanze kazi like vizuri, and have 2017 be a new year of like positive things. Register where you can at the MCSKs and the camps and the priests, because also if you have not registered, half the people who complain that they don't get money, ask them what their membership number is. I promise you, 90% of them have not even registered.
Like Twitter.
Yeah, so those would be my quick 3 solutions. Yeah, just improve your game, improve your product. I remember seeing a billboard somewhere that by the time Joakali had made his first hit, he'd had like 15 other songs nobody knew about. He didn't start the first day and then the first day it was a hit. He'd been working and working and working. Then one day we're like, oh, there's this new artist. He's not new.
He's not new.
So it just means you have to put the time in and do the work.
Musyoka, other than, you know, us all going and becoming politicians in 2017, what else can we do?
Definitely, there is hope in the music business. It's not all lost, yeah. As Dave stated, and especially what Mwakidewa said, the issue of management, it's very, very critical. Sauti Sol have gotten where they have because of very good management, yeah. And with proper management, when you're relating to other people also, people who will use your product and use your brand, they will treat you well, and you'll be able to demand a lot of money, yeah, which you can then reinvest back in your career. The same way, the same thing that Diamond has done. He's used his brand to create other musicians, yeah, because he's convinced sponsors, the corporate world,
that this is a viable,
this is a brand that you can use. And definitely the people who buy music, it's a corporate world. They'll always use music to reach to their audiences. So unless we improve on management and how we sell ourselves to the corporate world, they'll never invest in us. They'll never take us seriously.
Well, I think it's a much larger conversation, but I think we've touched on some very important things. And for our audience, when the artists come here, I hope you guys understand how much hard work it is to be an artist. Si rahisi. So mnawashow love wakikuja, sio? Na mnawasearch kwa YouTube. Wacha mchezo. All right, so thank you so much to our panelists. I think we had some feedback on Twitter that I was trying to get to. I want to read just a couple of tweets before we wind up. Enoch Wambua saying Kenya has good music and good video companies should invest in artists. Let's see. A couple more tweets coming through. Of course, the hashtag is 10/10. I'm trying to get to some of the ones that you guys have been tweeting about music. I have someone else, Enoch, saying ubaya wa music in Kenya hakuna do. All right. We've heard that sentiment before. Let's see who else is here. Sheila Wams is saying, big up the show. I love what you guys are talking about. I'm also an aspiring artist. Well, all the best, and I hope that you've picked up a couple things from, these are, you know, industry stakeholders. They know what they're talking about, so I hope that you've listened to what they said. But I want you to give our panelists a big hand for being here and having this discussion, please. Thank you so much. Tumeshukuru. The show is not over yet. We've got more performances and more interviews on the way. Check out what's coming up next.